Though I was originally going to revisit the Final Destination franchise, well, before I watched this movie, it seems I've somehow failed because it came to streaming early, even after it came to physical media. But I'll do that later on, possibly for this year's Spooktacular October. Stay tuned, details to follow up if that comes up. But what happens when death runs in the family? You guessed it, this happens. As I recently saw Final Destination Bloodlines, now on physical media and streaming on HBO Max. But is this recent hit horror flick really as good as the critics say it is? Because it's gotten the best reviews than any other in the franchise. Or has death finally succeeded in winning this time? Find out in this spoiler free review right now. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Joel, better known to you as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a spoiler-free review of the 2025 supernatural horror flick Final Destination Bloodlines from New Line Cinema, directed by Zach Lipovsky and Adam Stein, from a screenplay by Guy Busick and Laurie Evans Taylor, based on a story by John Watts, Busick, and Evans Taylor. This is the sixth overall installment in the Final Destination film series, which recently celebrated its 25th anniversary earlier this year, which first installment that is, and the first film in the franchise in 14 years. The film stars Kaitlyn Santa Juana as a college student named Stefani who inherits visions of a previous premonition that averted to a deadly structural failure of a skyscraper in 1969 from her dying grandmother, and is warned by her that death is coming for their family. This also has Teo Briones, or Briones, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, Richard Harmon, Owen Patrick Joyner, Anna Laura, Brec Bassinger, and Tony Todd in his final film role, which of course he sadly passed away on November 6th last year, in 2024. This film recently became a big success since it's released on May 16th of this year. And this film was actually going to come to HBO Max first, but however, Warner Brothers the distributor of the film announced that the film would instead receive a theatrical release. Anyway, in 2024, college student Stefani Reyes is plagued by recurring nightmares of her maternal grandparents, Iris and Paul Campbell, dying in the Skyview, a high-rise restaurant tower collapse in her New York State hometown of Cloverdale in 1969. In her nightmare, the tower collapses following a deadly chain reaction, killing everyone inside. Despite knowing that the tower had never collapsed because it was demolished without incident, she returns home seeking answers. Stefani, or could be, could be Stephanie, or I'm sorry if I'm saying this wrong. Stephanie or Stefani, I'm sorry. I think it's Stephanie. I do apologize. She's greeted by her father Mari and younger brother Charlie. The siblings visit their Uncle Howard, Aunt Brenda, and cousins Eric, Julia, and Bobby. When Stephanie asks Howard about Iris, he explains that Iris subjected him and her mother, Darlene, to an overprotective and isolating upbringing, resulting in the family's dysfunctions in Darlene's absence. Brenda helps Stephanie to find letters from Iris, which leads her to a fortified cabin where Iris now resides, dying by end-stage cancer, and explains that the nightmares she's having were her premonition. Well, she warned the tower's attendees and prevented its collapse after receiving the forewarning, which led to its closure. However, she disrupted Death's design. And Death begins to take the lives of the survivors in the order they would have died at the Skyview, along with their respective descendants. Well, Iris documented Death's actions until she got cancer after Paul's death, during which Stephanie's nightmares began manifesting and what have you. So anyway, but soon she dies. But I won't tell you how though. But you'll see when you check this film out. Now I'm going to give you my thoughts on this film. From what I've seen of Final Destination Bloodlines, I've got to say it was awesome. It was mind blowing and it was bloody and gory. Definitely. I think this is probably the best of the franchise we have gotten to this day. This film eventually became a big hit, going on to make 285 million worldwide on its $50 million budget, becoming the most successful film in the franchise to this day, surpassing the heavily dissed 2009 Ford film The Final Destination. The film's also become the first film to even get certified fresh, even though this is the second overall film to get fresh aside from Final Destination 5, the previous film from 14 years ago in 2011. It's at 93%, and they say adding some surprising emotional layers onto the ghoulish bones of Final Destination's mythology, this ingeniously executes grisly set pieces with precision and turns impending doom into outrageous fun. I couldn't agree more. Metacritic has a score 73, while audiences polled by CinemaScore gave this a B+, and those surveyed by PostTrack gave the film an average 4 out of 5, with 69% saying they would definitely recommend the film. Variety called the film clever, unpredictable, and fun, and praised Todd's performance as a tender tribute to the horror luminary and retroactive connective tissue between the franchise's disparate chapters. Yes. Yes, Tony Todd managed to film his role in this before he passed away. The Hollywood Reporter wrote that the film gives its audiences exactly what they expect, namely a series of ingeniously designed diabolical Rube Goldberg style fatalities that are mostly so within the realm of possibility that you'll find yourself crossing the street very carefully after you leave the theater. And the reviewer for Hollywood Reporter, Frank Schreck, praised Tony Todd's appearance as a poignant reminder that in real life, as in these movies, death comes for everybody. I couldn't agree more. I appreciate this having a little bit of emotional depth between some of the characters and stuff like that. But nevertheless, I found the film to be a mind blowing blast. A lot of the kills were really bloody and gory. Definitely. I won't tell you what they are. You'll have to see the movie if you haven't seen it yet. Believe me, they are bloody and gory. The score done by Tim Wynn is pretty good, and I really like that. It also has some pretty good classic tunes as well. So I gotta give them credit for that as well. The direction of this was fine. I did like the 1969 setting for the premonition and how things go for the characters. Now, sure, now I should say some of the blood and gore kind of might have been a little had some CGI issues and what have you, or something like that. But this doesn't really deduct much points. That's just a slight issue. But nevertheless, I found the kills to be pretty bloody. Now, for our cast, we have playing Stephanie. I say that's probably right, not Stephanie. Is Kaitlyn Santa Juana, who most people would remember her from, well, the 8th season of the Flash TV series from the CW. And also, well, maybe from a few other things, but not a whole lot. She's only appeared in a few things. Playing Charlie is Teo Briones, who recently played, who I thought this guy looked familiar. He recently played Junior on Chucky, and was also on Pretty Little Liars and the Netflix series Ratched. I gotta say, not too bad. Playing Eric is Richard Harmon, who actually appeared in numerous shows like The Killing, Continuum, and The 100. Yeah, not too bad. Playing Bobby is Owen Patrick Joyner, who most people would remember him from 100 Things to Do Before High School, as well as Night Squad and Julie and the Phantoms. Oh wow, and I didn't know this. He's from Oklahoma? That's incredible. Well, born in Oklahoma anyway. Playing Darlene is Rhea Kilstead. Most people would know her best as Alice Ribbons from Home Alone 3, and she would also be in films like Deep Impact and several others. She also appeared on Dexter, Nashville, and Superman Lois as well. Julia is played by Anna Laurie, who most people would remember her from a smoking commercial, smoking cigarettes where she buys a pack, tears off their skin and whatever to get the smokes and whatever. Yes, I thought this was her. Yes. She also appeared on the CW's All American and the short lived CW superhero series Gotham Knights. Well, not too bad. Playing Iris is Gabrielle Rose, while the young version in the Premonition is Brec Bassinger, who most people had seen her in 47 Meters Down Uncaged, plus several other things. And she's been on numerous shows, including The Goldbergs, the School of Rock series, and Stargirl, the CW series. And also was the voice of Margot Roberts on Nickelodeon's big hit animated series, The Loud House. Let's see. Tempo Lee played Mari. April Tellick played Brenda Campbell. Now she's been in some things. I'm not sure. Most of them, I'm afraid, yeah, I'm not too familiar with, to be honest. Well, except, oh yeah, she appeared in a Cinderella story, Starstruck, a few years back. Alex Zahara played Howard. And, well, he's been in some shows and has also done video game and anime dub voices and what have you. Max Lloyd Jones played Paul. Most people would know him from working on War for the Planet of the Apes. And Brenna Llewellyn played Val, who most people would remember her from the Tubi horror film Low Lives. She was also recently seen in the second season of CBS's hit series Tracker. So anyway, so the cast is pretty good. So with everything said, Final Destination Bloodlines is pretty cool. I think the kills were awesome. The blood and gore was good, even though it was kind of a little, well, just like any of the others. But still good though. And the cast wasn't too bad. The characters weren't too bad. And I like the score and the soundtrack. So this makes it probably the best Final Destination I have seen to this very day. I think you'll really like this if you haven't seen it yet. Like I said, the film is now available on physical media and is now streaming on HBO Max and also on the linear HBO channels. Check your listings if it's, well, to see which of the channels it's on. Anyway, this is a good horror film. This probably ranks as one of the great horror films of 2025 now in my book. For my score, I give Final Destination Bloodlines 5 stars, which will mean on a scale of 1 to 10, it gets a 10. Please stand by. So what did you think of Final Destination Bloodlines? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. And now I am only 20 subscribers away from 1,000. Again, keep up the good work. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of Babe. So if you like this, check out my reviews of the first two installments of this other New Line Cinema franchise. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of The Conjuring. Yes, the one that started off with that franchise. The upper right-hand corner is my review of the second film in the franchise, The Conjuring 2. Well, the follow-up to that anyway. Or if you'd like some more recent horror, check out my main reviews on Death of a Unicorn and Until Dawn. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying see ya. And also, rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal Warner, Hulk Hogan, his Ozziness, Ozzy Osbourne. I'm sorry I didn't mourn their losses sooner. And also, more recently, Lonnie Anderson. I just read we lost Lonnie Anderson today. So, rest in peace. Goodbye again.